All right. All right, all right, all right.
All right.
God. These contacts, I wanted to make sure I had that nice pink eye solution. So that's why I put them up my butt first.
Your lips don't move. I, I'm a kid. You can't show this, we'll get shut down.
I decided to be Mitch McConnell for Halloween. I have my Bible. We both have robes on. We both have hoodies.
I know.
It's hot.
I'm like your pet cat. Meow.
Meow.
No. Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. As you are joining us, this is another episode of what we call Bible Sludy. This is our fifth episode. My name is Jessica Whor. I am a Catholic kitty cat. That's it.
Yeah, she's a Catholic kitty cat. I am a Christian who had his first gay experience at Bible camp.
Oh, nice. And your name?
We're here deconstructing.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Tiffany Vogue. That dementia, it comes with the man.
Each week we go through the different stories of the Bible, and we have a conversation about what the text and what the literatures and what the stories are telling me. We read exactly what it is and discuss some of the problematic, unsure things. We talk about some of the possible realistic things. And our ultimate goal is to finish the Bible and come out as believers, right, Tiff?
That's the goal. Trying to get saved.
I'm trying to get saved. So we ended. We had all the ark shit, all of the Noah's Ark things. We had all the animals 2 by 2. We had the conversation about how long it took for God to dry up the land and let them all off the boat. And then Noah dies. That's the last thing, right? Yeah, and he died when he was 950 years old. He died.
He had to look worse than I do.
I don't know. How old are you?
I don't know, but I look pretty bad.
You're like what, in your 30s?
Yeah, 30s. Just skipped one Botox treatment.
And so we're now at the part, we're on Genesis still. I'm on number 10. Is that correct? You're on number 10 as well?
That sounds about right.
We've been staying consistent. If you're joining us, this is the Bible that I've been using. It's the Precious Moment Bible, and I always love highlighting the Small Hands edition. And Tiffany's got the one for teenage girls.
That's me!
Which is really applicable right now.
Yeah. Maybe a teenage girl burn victim.
I don't know. You look pretty good.
I look like somebody dumped a bucket of acid on me.
Parts of you are swollen, and that's what I don't understand.
Oh, yeah, well, you haven't seen any of it yet. It gets more wrinkly.
I bet.
Further down you go.
How far do you have to stick that in your mouth? We're on Genesis number 10. What's the title of your chapter?
It says, The Table of Nations.
Mine is Nations Descended from Noah.
Oh.
Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I'll start us off. I'm eager to see how this goes.
Same. I really am too. Go for it.
All right. This is the account of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, Noah's sons, who themselves had sons after the flood. The Japhethites, the sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Teras. The sons of Gomer. Wasn't he one of the Adams from the Adams family?
No, Gomer was Gomer Pyle from Andy Griffith's show.
Oh, okay. God, you're from another time, aren't you?
I'm not that much older.
Andy Griffith show. All right.
Dude, dude.
Ashkenaz sounds like a character from Harry Potter. Ashkenaz, the prisoner of Ashkenaz. Riptha and Tagomah, the sons of Javan. Troy Javan. Elisha, Tarshish, and the Kittites. Looks like Kittitites. And the Rodanites from Rohan. From these, the maritime peoples spread out into their territories by their clans within their nations, each with its own language. Wow.
So,
Each with its own language. So is that before or after the Tower of Babel?
I'm not sure. It's really interesting because we follow along together, and I don't have any of that.
You don't have any of that?
No. Unless,
Weird.
yeah, I mean,
That
talking
was
about different lands.
1 through 4. Or 1 through 5.
What, that was your 1 through 5?
Yep.
Can I read you my 1 through 5? This is
Let's
how
hear
short it is. Okay. Now this is the genealogy of the sons of Noah. Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Rippeth, and Tomagarth. And the sons of Javan were Elish, Tarishish, Kittim, and Domanim. Are these what you have?
Yeah, that's what I had.
From these, the coastland peoples of the Gentiles were separated into their lands, and everyone according to his own language, according to their families, into their nations.
Yeah, it just seems like they're saying the same thing, but in a different way.
So, well, no, you said all of that on mine, and I could have swore you were down here.
No,
where you were talking.
I just read really slow. And I added some commentary.
That's why I got off track really quick.
That's okay. It's all the drugs. We have to get really high to read the Bible.
I did.
All right, here we go. You want to take 6 through wherever the fuck?
Yes, I'm happy to. The sons of Ham and Cush, like Miss Cush.
Ooh, yeah!
Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Raham, and Sabtek. And the sons of Raham were Sheba and Dedan. Cush begot
What?
Cush begot Nimrod.
Bigot.
Cush begot Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one on the earth.
No, we had Cush Bigot Nimrod. That's
No.
like a whole.
Cush begot Nimrod.
I know, but I gotta create my own fun here. This is a really dry verse.
Yes. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore, it is said, like Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh, and the land of Shimnar. From the land he went to Assyria and built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Ir-Kalha, and Resen between Nineveh and Kalha. That is the principal city. Mizraim begot Ludim, Anamim, Lehaban, Tubith, Pathruism, and Caluzism, from whom
These aren't words.
From whom came the Philistines and Captron. Canaan begot Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth. And the Jebusite, the Amorite, and the Girgashite, the Hivite, and the Arkite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamath. I feel like I'm reading a Dr. Seuss book. the Heschlingers and the Bleschlingers. Oh my god.
Blue ones and big ones and red ones and small ones.
After the families of the Canaanites were dispersed, and the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as you go towards Gerar, as far as Gaza, then you go towards Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim, as far as Lasha. These were the sons of Ham according to their families, according to their languages, in their lands and in their nations. And children were born also to Shem, the father of all the children of Eber, and brother of Japheth the elder. The sons of Shem were Elam, Ashur, Arapact, Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram were Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Abarach begat Abarath began Saleth, and Saleth begot Eber. To Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in this days the earth was divided. His brother's name was Joktan. Joktan begot Alamad, Shelthith, and Zamarethith. Jerach. Hadoram Uzala. I feel like I'm reading spell. Hadoram Uzal Dikla Obal Abimal Ashiba. Opir, Havilah, and Jobab. All of these were the sons of Jotan, and their dwelling place was far from Mesha as you go towards the Sephar, the mountain of the east. These were the sons of Shem. Sorry, I got some phlegm on Shem. According to their families, according to the languages in their lands, according to their nations. These were the families of the sons of Noah, according to the generations in their nations. And from these nations were divided on the earth after the flood. Wow. That was dry and a lot of names of places, but I couldn't tell you which. If I were to read out a name and I'd tell me if it's a son, tell me if it's a founder of a land, or tell me if it's the name of a place. Could you tell me? Probably not.
Probably not.
And yet we're finding another misogynistic part. You cannot tell me that no daughters or wives were involved in any of this.
Yeah, no.
And they just
men were the heads of the household.
It's just the sons and the dads and the sons and the dads and their sons. No mention of any of the women in this time.
I also want to clarify two things. The first being that I'm dressed this way because Jessica told me that she wanted me to put on something sexy for Halloween. So I wanted to show a little skin. And then the second thing I want to clarify is that some people question whether or not we, being, feeble-minded people, being laymen's, should be able to interpret the wisdom in this book, but they tend to forget that the people who were reading this book and spreading it throughout the entire world were sheep herders. I think that we should be able to have just as much discernment and understanding over these scriptures as the sheep herders who originated this religion. So that's my stance on the matter. I have spoken.
You have spoken.
All right. Our next chapter is chapter 11, The Tower of Babel.
Hey, that's the first time that ours have matched up.
Woohoo! Ding, ding, ding. Now, the whole world had one language and a common speech. As people moved eastward, they found a plain in Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly." They used brick instead of stone and tar for mortar. This was cutting-edge technology at the time.
They say asphalt here, or asphalt and tar the same thing.
Well, yours is wrong. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so that we may make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we will be scattered over the face of the earth." But the Lord came down to the city and the tower the people were building. The Lord said, "If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language, so they will not understand each other." So the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth. and they stopped building the city. That is why it's called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there, the Lord scattered them over the face of the whole earth. Okay, so we were just going through the whole lineage, and it was talking about them being separated by their language, and now it's saying that he just invented multiple languages. Pretty confusing.
I'd say so.
I'd say so.
It just seems like he backtracks a lot of his choices or just makes random choices. Why do we need to learn about all those people?
Well, and it seems like he was kind of afraid of like what they were capable of when he saw that they were starting to build relatively tall buildings. And we have much taller buildings today, and he hasn't tried to confuse people on working together since then. We have flying machines and we have space rockets, and we haven't seemed to strike God's vengeance or wrath due to any of that. So again, this just seems like a made-up story to try to come up with some type of a reasoning for Bronze Age people to understand why there are multiple languages rather than an actual historical event.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, they used to come up with all sorts of stories with like how the tiger got his stripes and things like that back in the day because they didn't actually know. So they'd come up with fun, fanciful, fancy stories, and it just seems like this is one of those situations.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, do we have more? We have more descendants. Oh god, do we have to go through everybody's descendants again? Oh god, I hate these chapters.
We have to go through the entire world history of descendants.
All right, Shem's descendants. Ready? I'm gonna just knock this out.
Yeah, real fast.
This is the genealogy of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begot Arapax 2 years after the flood. After he begot Arapax, Shem lived 500 years. What happened to not going past 120?
Oh, fuck if I know.
Was he grandfathered into this rule?
Nothing in this book makes any sense. Let's not pretend like it does.
After he begot Arapax, Shem lived 500 years and begot sons and daughters. Arapax lived 35 years and begot Shelah. After he begot Shaleth, Arapax lived 403 years and begot sons and daughters. That's the first time they mentioned daughters. Salah lived 30 years and begot Eber, and after he begot Eber, Salah lived 430 years and begot sons and daughters. Eber lived 34 years and begot Peleg, and after he begot Peleg, Eber lived 430 years. Everyone's 430. Why is it all 430 years? This is so many years. This is so many years are going by. And we got sons and daughters. This is one of those chapters where like, oh yeah, we're just going to jump forward a couple thousand years and hope for the best. Peleg lived 30 years and begot Ru. After he begot Ru, Peleg lived 209 years and begot sons and daughters. Ru is the son, I think. Ru lived 32 years and begot Sharug. After he begot Sharug, Ru lived 207 years and begot sons and daughters. Sarug lived 30 years and begot Nahor. After he begot Nahor, Sarug lived 200 years and begot sons and daughters. Nahor lived 29 years and begot Terah. After he begot Terah, Nahor lived 119 years and he begot sons and daughters. Now Terah lived 70 years and begot Abraham, Nahor, and Haran. Now you get to go through Terah's descendants.
Let's do it. Here we go. This is the account of Terah's family line. Terah became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran became the father of Lot. While his father Terah was still alive, Haran died in Ur of the Chaldeans. In the land of his birth, Abraham and Nahor both married. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah. We're getting some female names here.
That's nice.
She was the daughter of Haran, the father of both Milcah and Sikah. Now, Sarai was childless because she was not able to conceive. Oh, we're just getting names because these females are broken. Out of
We're
service.
only getting female names because if we're gonna put them in the book, it's to shame them for being infertile.
Yes, for being an out of service baby maker.
This is one of the first times a female name has been mentioned in a very long time since we started the book with Eve, and it's because she's infertile.
Damn. Terah took his son. You know what they wouldn't do though? They wouldn't call out a man and be like, "Oh, but his sperms were no good."
No, it's not. It's not his fault.
And you know, I've tasted a lot of them in my day, and I can always tell the good ones from the bad ones. You know
Can you
what's
tell which ones swim?
What's
fast?
that?
You can tell which ones swim fastest.
I can. If you don't believe me, I'll give you a free trial. You know what's never?
Well, you have to wear this mask.
I'm just waiting for my bukkake service. It's gonna be great. But
these pages will get stuck together.
You know what's not pleasant though? When they nut in your mouth and you crunch down on some kidney stones. Little munch munch crunch crunch, you call them Cap'n Crunch.
I will be stealing that. That is disgusting.
Spitters or quitters, you gotta swallow it.
I don't mind a little crunch.
Nom,
Like when you add granola to yogurt.
Yeah, it's like a crispy cream. That's what it is. Anyway, back to the names.
I would like you to know that we have nobody watching, and we have not had anybody watching for a while.
That's great. They'll watch back. He took his son Abram, his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, the wife of his son Abram, and together they set out from Ur of the Chaldeans to go to Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they settled there. Terah lived 205 years, and he died in Haran. Whew. There we go. Now we're on chapter 12.
Okay. Promise.
Whoa there, Nelly.
Promises to Abram. Is that what you have?
Glaucoma?
What? Glaucoma is not one of the names of the people in this book. Okay, what does your say? Promises to Abram? Does yours say promises to Abram?
I just died. Deep throat that straw.
You look like it.
The call of Abram.
Oh, so you got a call. I've got promises. I've got pinky promises, bitch. Okay. Now the Lord had said to Abram, "Get out of your country, from your kindred and from your father's house, to a land, and I will show you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. Curse him who curses you, and in all the families of the earth shall be blessed." He's making another promise that I feel like he's going to let him down on.
Oh.
You know he likes to do these like, "Oh, you're my favorite. There's got to be a twist."
There always is.
Last one, he had to build a boat and collect animals.
Twist, 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 mashed potato mambo.
So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken to him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old, a normal age, when he departed from Haran. And Abram took Sarai, his wife, the one who can't give birth, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the people whom they had acquired in Haran, and they departed to go to the land of Canaan. And then, so they came to the land of Canaan. Is it Canaan? Canaan. Abram passed through the land to the place of Shechem, as far as Terebinth, tree of Moreh, and the Canaanites were then in the land. I'm really having a hard time. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your descendants I will give this land." And there he built an altar to the Lord who had appeared to him. And he moved from there to the mountains east of Bethel, and he pitched his tent. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, even at 75 years old, he's
With
still trying to
Bethel.
make babies with his broken baby maker.
It's not his, it's his wife.
Well, I know, but she is his. Because women were property then.
That's true. Bethel on the west and A on the east. There he built an altar to the Lord and called on the name of the Lord. So Abram journeyed, going on still towards the south.
Apple?
Why do you have your pills accessible right now?
In case that we get to another dry chapter.
You need to keep your pills handy.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to, because I'm guessing now you're going to Egypt, so you better talk about that.
Here
I
we
know
go.
this one. There can be miracles.
All right, we got Abram in Egypt. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to live there for a while because the famine was severe. As he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, "I know what a beautiful woman you are. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife.' Then they will kill me, but will let you live." Say you are my sister, so that I will be treated well for your sake, and in my life will be spared because of you. So they intend to bang her out anyway. But this way, he's just her brother, and
Yeah,
at least his life will be spared as they all, like, pass her around.
that's what it sounds like.
When Abram came to Egypt, the Egyptians saw that Sarai was a very beautiful woman. And when Pharaoh's officials saw her, they praised her to Pharaoh.
It's
And she
about
was taken.
time.
What?
It's about time that someone gets a little bit of respect, one of these ladies.
Yeah. And she was taken into his palace. He treated Abram well for her sake, and Abram acquired sheep and cattle, male and female donkeys, male and female servants, and camels. But the Lord inflicted serious diseases on Pharaoh. Oh, so she had herpes.
Yeah.
They got that subscription to Lifetime. And his household because of Abram's wife Sarai. So Pharaoh summoned Abram. "What have you done to me? You rented out this dirty hole." He said, "Why didn't you tell me she was your wife?
She is my sister.
Why did you say she is my sister, so that I took her to be my wife? Now then, here is your wife. Take her and go." Then Pharaoh gave orders about Abram to his men, and they sent him on his way with his wife and everything he had. So how about that? I see a common theme where regularly in the Bible men pimp out their wives to
Yeah,
spare, or their daughters to spare their own ass. And it's never a punishable offense. It's a punishable offense for Pharaoh to have slept with another man's wife, and he broke out in sores and stuff. And he's like, "Oh my God, the reason this is happening is because I'm sleeping with another man's wife. It's
I
not
thought
because
it
I'm
was
my
Jesus'
sister."
plague. I thought it was the plague of Jesus.
Yeah, the plague of God. God cursed the Pharaoh because he slept with another man's wife. But God never curses the men for pimping out their wives.
That's true.
What the heck? Or pimping out their daughters to an angry rape mob
That's a
in
good
following
point.
chapters.
That's been consistent too. Yeah.
God's got some really questionable moral grounds where he's going to draw the line and deal out punishment. One woman gets turned into
Hey,
a pillar of salt for just turning around.
he's God. He can do what he wants.
Yeah, sure, fine, whatever.
And he can do what he does not want. That makes
Seems
sense.
legit.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh
So
gosh. Okay, here we go. Abram inherits Canaan. Is it Canaan?
It's whatever you want it to be, sweetie.
Canaan. Canaan. We'll go Canaan. Then Abram went up from Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and a lot of with him to the south. Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver and in gold. And he went on his journey. Stop looking at me like that. You made me lose my place. And he went on a journey from his south as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to the place of the altar which he had made there at first. And then Abram called on the name of the Lord. Lot also, who went with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents. Now the land was not able to support them, and then they might dwell together, for their possession were so great that they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock.
Can you rub your nipple while you say the next paragraph?
The Canadians, the parasites, parasites, like Salinas cities, but parasites cities.
Yeah.
Then dwelt in the land. So Abram said to Lot, please let there be no strife between you and me, and between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, and we are brethren. It is not the whole land before you. Please separate from me. If you take the left, then I will go to the right, or if you go to the right, then I will go to the left. And Lot lifted his eyes and saw all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, like the garden that the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as you go towards Zoar. Then Lot chose for himself all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated from each other. Abram dwelt in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelt in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent, even as far as Sodom. But the men of Sodom were exceedingly wicked and sinful against the Lord.
Have I ever told you how pretty you are?
Yeah.
You're such a good boy.
Thanks, Daddy.
Your daddy's a good boy.
Thanks, Daddy's a little good boy. Let me finish reading this Bible, Daddy. And the Lord said to Abram, after Lot had separated from him, lift your eyes now and look from the place where you are northward, southward, eastward, and westward. For all the land which you see I give to you and your descendants forever. And I will make your descendants as the dust of the earth, so that if a man could number the dust of the earth, then your descendants could also be numbered.
Amen.
Arise, walk in the land through its length and its width, for I give to you. Then Abram moved his tent and went and dwelt by the terebinth trees to Mamre, which are in Hebron, and built an altar there to the Lord. Are you putting lip gloss on right now?
No, I'm listening. That's hot.
Is that hot?
It is. I'm just over here super, super heated. So heated.
What are you heated about?
How often he keeps pinching his tent. He's just pitching that tent left and right. This corner of the desert, and then over there in that corner of the desert. And it's just so fascinating. Oh. Reading the Bible gets me hot.
Is it sweaty in there?
Oh, I'm just marinating in my own juices.
You gotta move your lips.
I can't.
If you don't move your lips, you look puppety. Yeah, but you gotta get your jaw working.
Let's see what we have. We just read 13 or 14?
We just read 13.
Okay. So then the next two chapters that we have are Abram rescues Lot, and we have the Lord's covenant with Abram. The Lord's covenant with Abram. Oh my God. 15 is going to be a juicy one. I'm familiar with this covenant. Let me see if I can plow through 14 so that you can read like one good little 15 portion here since
Yeah,
we
I'm
got
sick
some
of the
time.
shit that I've been getting.
Yeah. All right. At the time when Amphil was king of Shinar, Arioch king of Elazar, Bredalamachir king of Elam, and Tidal king of Goim, these kings went to war against Bera king of Sodom, Berisha king of Gomorrah, Shinab king of Adham, Sherebah king of Zerabium, and the king of Baha. That is Zor. All these kings joined forces in the valley of Siddim. That is the Dead Sea Valley. That for 12 years they had been subject to Kadamir. But in the 13th year of the rebelled, in the 14th year, Kedorlaomer and the kings allied with him went out and defeated the Rephaites and the Asharthakaranaim, the Zizim and the Ham, the Emetites in Shaveha Kereheb, and the Horatites! The Horatites! That's you! Your people! In the hill county of Seir. You've never owned land before. As far as El Paran near the desert, they turned back and went to Enamisfat, that is Kadesh, and they conquered the whole territory of the Amalekites, as well as the Aramorites, who were living in Zenazon Tamar. Then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, the king of Zeboim,
The boom.
Bela, that is Zoar, marched out and drew up their battle lines in the valley of Siddim against Zadolaramar, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Goyim, Ephraimel, king of Jamil, Erakam, king of Ezalel, 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Siddim was full of tar pits, and when the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some of the men fell into them, and the rest fled to the hills. The 4 kings seized all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah, all their food, and then they went away. They also carried off Abram's nephew Lot and his possessions, since he was living in Sodom. A man who had escaped came and reported this to Abraham, the Hebrew. Now Abram was living near the great trees of Mamre the Amorite, a brother of Eshcol and Aner, all of whom were allied with Abram. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he called out the 318 trained men born in his household and went in pursuit as far as Dan. During the night, Abram divided his men to attack them, and he routed them, pursuing them as far as Hobah, north of Damascus. He recovered all the goods and brought back his relative Lot and his possessions, together with the women and the other people, after Abram returned and defeating Kedorlaomer. And the kings allied with him. The king Sodom came out to meet him in the valley of Shaveh. The Melechilus, the king of the Solim, brought out bread and wine. I like to be wined and dined myself. He was priest of God Most High, and he blessed Abram, saying, "Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and praise be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand." Then Abram gave him a tenth of everything, the king of Sodom said to Abram, "Give me the people and keep the goods for yourself." But Abram said to the king of Sodom, "With raised hands I have sworn an oath to the Lord, God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, that I will accept nothing belonging to you, not even a thread or the strap of a sandal, so that you will never be able to say, 'I made Abram rich.' I will accept nothing but what my men have eaten and the share that belongs to the men who went with me. To Anir, Eshcol, Mamre, let them have their share." Oh, it's done. Was it as good for you as it was for me?
I'm pretty sure I took a nap. I'm pretty sure I zoned out and took a nap.
I have a very soothing voice.
Because I woke up when you went, Ashiva.
Achoo!
Ashiva. Okay.
Ashiva, Ashiva.
Ashiva. I love that. Ashiva. Oh my, I feel like Through Heaven's Eyes, that one that we talked about last week, is going to be my new karaoke song.
Great. I'll go to that, and I hate karaoke.
Let's go to karaoke together. And just do Prince of Egypt.
Yeah, and I'm going to sing every song at karaoke in this mask, so it's muffled and distorted.
Perfect. All right. I don't have anything to comment on this last part. I didn't pay attention.
It's okay. You didn't miss much.
God's covenant with Abram. After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision, saying, "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your exceedingly great reward." But Abram said, "Lord God, what will you give me, seeing I go childless, and the heir of my house is Eliezer of Damascus?" Then Abram said, "Look, you have given me no offspring. Indeed, one born in my house is my heir. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him, saying, This one shall not be your heir, but one who will come from your own body shall be your heir." Then he brought him outside and said, "Look towards the heaven and count the stars if you are able to number
we gotta
them."
hold up. We gotta point out how God is basically saying that adopted kids don't count.
Yes,
That's pretty fucked up.
it's pretty fucked up. And he's giving him a lot of false hope. He's like, "Go outside and just look up in the sky."
Your cat is just as much your flesh and blood as anything that could have fallen out of your. That's your baby. Furry babies are your children.
It's true. Except for not all.
That's all. I've spoken.
Look now towards heaven and count the stars if you are able to number them. And he said to him, "So shall your descendants be." And he believed in the Lord, and he accounted it to him for righteousness. Then he said to him, "I am the Lord who brought you out of Ur of the Chaldeans to give you the land to inherit it." So he said to him, "Bring me a 3-year-old heifer, a 3-year-old female goat, a 3-year-old ram, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon." How do they know if it's young? Also, why is there's the obsession from the Lord to go collect a bunch of animals? Hey, I can help you, but I need 3 goats, I need a turtle dove, I need a pigeon. Hey, I can help you, but I need 2 of everything. Like, what is up with this obsession?
God sounds like the first witch.
It's just confusing. Then he brought all of these to him and cut them in 2 down the middle and placed each piece opposite the other, but he did not cut the birds in 2.
That's mortifying.
Also,
do you think he started at the crotch and worked his way up?
He said right down the middle, so I would assume so. But they make it seem like it was easy for him, like, oh yeah, so he just went outside, got all these animals, and came back.
Right? Do you think they euthanized the animals before they started cutting into them?
By euthanizing, maybe hit them with a stick.
Beat them with a stick.
He brought all these, and when the vultures came down on the carcasses, Abram drove them away. Now, when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and behold, horror and great darkness fell upon him. Then he said to Abram, know certainly that your descendants will be strangers in a land that is not theirs, and will serve them, and they will afflict them 400 years. And also the nation whom they serve I will judge. Afterward they shall come out with great possessions. Now as for you, you shall go to your fathers in peace. You shall be buried at a good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall return here, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet complete. And it came to pass when the sun went down and it was dark, that behold, that there was a smoking oven and a burning torch that passed between those pieces. On the same day the Lord made a covenant to Abraham, saying, to your descendants I have given this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates, the Kenites and the Kenites, and the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Repal, and the Amorites, the Canaanites, and the and Girgashites, and the Jubusites.
I love gushers. I got last year's COVID inside this mask.
That's disgusting.
It's never been washed.
I'm done reading this Bible.
Oh my God. What a wild adventure we've been on today.
What a great Bible study. In the month of November, everybody will be here on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 3 p.m. Pacific Time for Bible study, I guess.
And we'll be back in drag.
For one of them.
Are you not going to be in drag for most of them?
No, I'll be in drag for all of them.
Work. Well, thank you for coming to Bible study, y'all.
My name is Jessica Whor. This is Tiffany Vogue, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Okay, we are off.